Hey guys, today I just want to quickly talk about and touch on why men need respect. And this is for the men, but it's also for the women too, so that way you can understand where your man is coming from, whether he's your husband, whether he's your boyfriend, or a guy you're dating, or whatever the case may be, and some of the effects if he feels disrespected. This is a big thing because in the world we're living in today, right? Let's just be real about it. We're living in a world where men are constantly being emasculated. Men are constantly being feminized, and this is a big problem in the world. I think it's an epidemic, and it's causing a lot of family breakup, divorce, suicide. Um, it is one of the biggest problems, I believe, that's affecting communities and basically countries, yeah, nations, because it all starts in the home. It starts with the family dynamic, right? And if the homes are strong, and if they're led by good, strong men, then the families will basically do well. The children will, grow up to be contributing members of society, and you will not get nearly as much bullshit in the world. When it comes to like crime and just a lot of negative bullshit that's happening in the world. You would not get if we had more stronger families. So it starts with good relationships between the man and the woman, right? So when it comes to respect, men in general, we we want to produce value. We want to be valuable in the world. In order for us to be valuable in the world, we need to be productive. We need to be healthy. We need to feel like we are important, right? Some people call it ego. That's fine, but men generally need to have ego if we're going to compete in the world, and if we're going to lead, and if we're going to, look after a lot of people. Could be family members, siblings, our parents, colleagues, people in business, staff, of course, our, wives and our children. So we need to be good leaders and strong leaders, and it's a lot of responsibility. So if we're going to take on a lot of this responsibility, which can take a lot out of a human being, we need to make sure, number one, we're on point within ourselves, so that way we're capable of leading effectively. But also we need respect, right? Because you know it's just not, it doesn't make sense to be responsible for something or for someone but not have authority over it, right? But I mean healthy authority. I don't mean that guys need to be domineering and disrespectful to women and children and abusive. No, that's not what I'm talking about. And I know there's a lot of that going on right now, right? Due to weak men and male trauma, unhealed trauma, and all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying that all men are good, because basically all men aren't. You know, but for the healthy ones, for the men who generally want to be good men and want to have families and produce value in the world and be great, these are the types of men I'm talking about, right? The ones who are good men, who are trying their best to be better, right? We're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? We're not perfect. A lot of men have issues and problems, but if they're trying to be better and they're trying to produce value and to protect and provide for their families, and that's the main thing. You have to make sure that they're trying, right? Life's a journey. It's all about getting better and growing and dealing with challenge and rising above challenge, right? That's with anybody and everybody. But when it comes to men, we need respect, because that's pretty much what love is for us. Right now, me personally, I don't need my woman to like be all romantic and make me feel loved and caressed and all that kind of shit. I don't need that, right? I don't need her to constantly boost my ego with words and stuff like that. I don't need that. What I need is just respect. And for me, respect is more like, you know when there's a decision to be made, or if we're in a situation and you know we need to know what to do, things like that. I want to be the problem solver. I want to be the one to make the final decision, and I don't want to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel like I'm fighting somebody that I'm taking care of. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to get every decision right. but I'll get 8 out of 10 right. That's pretty good odds, right? So I think if a woman can just relax, stay in her feminine energy, and go, you know what? He has our well-being, or my well-being, you know, at his best interest, right? He wants to make sure I'm good, you know. So I'm just gonna kick back, let him make the decision, you know. And if he gets it wrong, he gets it wrong, right? But most of the time, he gets it right anyway. So it should be cool. You know what I mean? So you don't need a woman to be constantly stressing you and on your case about things and being worrisome all the time when usually you get shit right. You know what I'm saying? So women, you need to like just kick back a little bit and let your man just exercise his leadership. You know what I mean? Your life will be better as a result. You know. Now, in terms of like, say, a woman talking over her man, back talking, loud mouthing him, things of that nature, especially in public, that's very disrespectful to men. For a woman, she might not see it as disrespectful because, in actual fact, if a man, say, yells at a woman, she's not going to feel the same way as if a woman yells at the man, right? The effects are different. You understand what I'm saying? Men and women are different, right? So we view things differently, right? We feel things differently. So yeah, we can't compare the two in terms of that. It's very different between the two of them. But if a woman is, say, yelling at a man, right? Believe it or not, a man, his instinct is to attack. His instinct is to protect himself, right, from a threat, kind of like in battle or in war. If she's going to come at him with masculine energy, right, he's got to come back to her with masculine energy. It's an instinctual thing. It's it's all embedded in our nature as men, right? That's why men have to be very, very careful when he's being disrespected to, by a woman. He's got to be very careful. He got to have his emotional maturity on point. You know what I'm saying? So if he's kicking back and just trying his best just to chill while a woman's yelling at him, right? Give him some props, because it takes emotional maturity for a man to just let it happen and not retaliate, right? It takes a lot of emotional strength, because our instinct is to attack back, right? By nature, it's a protection thing. If a man retreats, if he's like, maybe he walks out of the house, if say you as a woman, you've yelled at your man, nagged him, whatever, and he's like, I'm out, if he walks out the house, what he's doing there is he's protecting his masculinity. He's protecting his testosterone levels, because he needs that in order to go out in the world and fight the world to produce value and bring back resources to you and the kids, right? So he needs to protect that testosterone that he has, that masculinity. Testosterone is very important for men. I'm going to go in deeper on this in another video, but testosterone is a man's health, right? It literally is. A man with high testosterone is a healthy male. A man with low testosterone is a depressed male, right? This is why we have so much suicide amongst men, because the testosterone levels have been depleted and depleted and depleted due to emasculation from the world, from their women, from their children, from whoever, right? That's why it's important for a man to continuously teach his family, his woman and his children, how to respect him. He needs to keep doing it, right? All this information I'm telling you right now isn't all just things I've just made up, right? This is all factual information. I've done lots of study from other people, right? So I'm just relaying the information back to you in my own way, right? Not only that, I've also done a lot of thinking, a lot of meditating on the information, a lot of exercising of the information, and seeing how it's affected me in my own experience, stuff like that, and then thought about it and everything like that. So all this information is valuable, and it's not like I'm just making it up. This is all factual information, all right? So yeah, just thinking off the top of my head, if there's anything else I can tell you when it comes to respect for men. Yeah, we definitely need respect so that way we can produce, that way we can protect and provide, and that way we can be a man in the house or in the world, right? Respect from men is love. Keep that in mind. Respect for men is love. So ladies, try not to disrespect your man. You know what I mean? If he loves you, if he cares about you, and if he's trying to protect and provide for you, just show him respect. Talk to him kindly. You know, don't talk with a tone. Don't interrupt him when he's speaking. Um, if he says something to you, just do it. If he asks you to do something, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that is what men love. Men love, right? If we tell someone to do something and they do it, that's just how we're built. You know what I'm saying? Men want to be leaders. We want to be kings. You understand what I'm saying? But you can only be a king if you protect and provide for other people. You understand? So if you're a husband and you have a household and you're looking after your woman and your children and you paying all the bills and you all of that, you're a king because at least you're looking after those people. You understand what I'm saying? A king has to protect and provide for his people. You can't be a king if you're not protecting and providing for nobody. Don't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? So look, I hope you got some value from this. I'll see you next time, and yeah, be good. Peace.